Hi, welcome back. In this session, we will discuss numbers in Python. So, let's begin. Let's talk about numbers, right? Let's say we have one variable x is equal to 2. So, this is integer number, right? Let's say we have y is equal to minus 23 and we have z is equal to, let's say, a big number, right? Now, these are numbers. Uh, and since I'm writing my program in a Python file, right? So these are just treated as numbers in Python program. Python provides a very important function, the type function using which we can come to know what kind of data type is present inside x, y, or z, right? So what we can do, if I use print, let's say print x, always remember with print function we have to use x. So I will copy this and let's paste x, y, and z, right? Let's run this. I'm just using a simple print function and let me clear, run again. As you can see, I'm printing x, y, and z. So minus 2, minus 23, and this big number 2424. So what if I'm calling a type function which will tell me what is the type of this x, right? So let me see, let me rerun. As you can see, this line number 5, I'm printing type of x. As we can see in the terminal console, the type of x is class int, right? So this is int or int type. Same way, if I want to know the type of y, so this function will provide me the type of y. Let me clear and rerun. So x is also int, y is also int, and the big number, let's see the type of this big number. Essentially, the point which I'm trying to make is I can use type function to know the type of any number. Here we go. Class int right here in the console terminal. So all these numbers x, y, these are integer type, int numbers. Okay. Now let me change these numbers. So let's say I'm writing 2.5 and 23.0 and this number, let's say. So if you notice the change which I have done, so I have put decimals in these numbers, right? Now let's run our program and see the type of these variables. Now as you can see, the type of variable x, y, and z becomes float. So in Python we have three types of numbers. One is integer, which we saw a few seconds ago. Float, which currently we are looking at. There's one more type. So let's see what that type is, and that type is complex. Yes, complex numbers we can also represent in Python. So let's say 2 plus 4i, right? Let me see. Alright, as you can see on line number 1, I have written this complex number. So complex number in mathematics consists of two parts. One is the real part plus the imaginary part, right? So 2 plus 4j. So this way we can represent complex numbers in Python programs. And so x is containing complex number. This is float, this is float. And if we use the type function of Python, let's see what output we will get. As we can see in the console terminal, so here the first one is complex, these two are float. All right, so this is pretty cool. Now I'm going to explain one more thing which is called type conversion. Okay, let me write first. This is type conversion. So let's say I know this is float, right? Now I want to convert it to the integer, right? I can do that. So if there is a number float, I can convert it to integer. So what I can do, I can call int function. Simple. So I can call int function. Now as we can see the output in the console, first one is complex. Notice the y, the second one print type y has now become int, right? Because we have used int function, so we have converted -23.0, which is a float, to the integer. And same way, if there is any integer variable, right? So let's say this z is 4, this z is, let's say, 3, right? Now we know z is equal to 3 is integer. So let's see, first one is complex int, right? Now currently on my screen the variable z contains integer value. I'm trying to explain type conversion. Now I want to convert this integer z to float z. For that I can use float function of Python. So if I write float of 3, let's see what happens. Let me clear so that it becomes more readable. As you can see, now z, the last one, the type of z, the last here in the console log, the last one has become float. So we can convert between these three types, int, float and complex. Yeah, we can convert to 3 into complex also. So I can call complex function of Python, and these functions are important because Python is widely used in data science, machine learning, AI. So that's why these numbers are supported, and we are covering some Python numbers over here in this session today. So if I write complex of 3, right, which means this 3 is integer, but I'm explaining type conversion, so I can call complex function. Now if I run this program, the first one is complex, the second one is int, and the z, the third one is also complex. All right, so this is pretty simple. So we have int, float and complex numbers in Python, and using the type function I can get to know the kind of data present inside any variable. And also we can use type conversion if we want to convert from one type to another. So we have seen the examples of converting int to float, float to complex, complex to float. So those things we can do with these type conversions. All right, so coming back to the agenda, so I wanted to cover numbers in Python, and I think we covered a lot, and I hope you have understood these Python numbers concept. All right, so that's all I wanted to discuss in this session today. Thank you so much.